I was just having a conversation with a friend, pretty influential person, and I basically told him that we're starting to see a shift in the Federal Reserve and crypto. We're seeing the old system now actually fighting the new system. The Fed is going to start fighting the new system. The banks are fighting the new system. That's what's happening with the Clarity Act. You've probably seen videos, everybody explaining to you what's going on. I don't need to do that. I probably will, but you already know. And this person who's well connected doesn't see it, and so many other people that I talk to don't see it, and so many people in the world don't see it. But we're on the verge of having our Telecommunications Act, moment, where when Clinton signed this bill into law called the Telecommunications Act, and the reason that he signed this into law and that this was voted on by Congress was because it opened up the internet to massive commercial growth, deregulated telecom and media, set the stage for big tech, social media, digital monopolies. We're seeing that right now, but we're seeing it with blockchain and crypto. That's what the Clarity Act is. It's this. And like I've been telling everybody, there's going to be something called the big print. But at the same time, we're going to get our 1996 moment. And what happened after 1996? The next 4 or 5 years, we saw the dot-com boom. And that was because of this. When the Clarity Act gets passed, it's going to do the same thing to blockchain. And you're going to see a dot-com style boom for cryptocurrencies. But I've been telling people this, that's not till, 2028, 2030, 2035. You're going to see this growth over a long period of time. In the process, in the meantime, start dollar cost averaging your cryptos. If the market goes up earlier than we expect, take profits. If you're up big at some point, take profits. Buy it back down. Because when this happens, when the Clarity Act actually passes, and it will, it's a matter of when, not if, right? That's going to be our 1996 moment before we see the real big boom and the real money comes in. And so many people are too short-minded. They can't think that far down the road. They can't envision a future where everything runs on blockchain because they don't even know what blockchain is. If you just pay attention to the price of your cryptocurrency, what your portfolio looks like in dollar form, you're going to miss it. You're not going to care about what it looks like now or what it could have looked like if we went up another double. What you're going to care about is what it looks like when we see what happens after the Clarity Act, the years after the Clarity Act. Bitcoins are going to be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Ethereums are going to be worth $10,000 plus. Solana is going to go over $1,000. XRP is going to do another 10, 20, 30x from here. But people are missing all of this. They're missing RWA. They're missing proof of humanity with WorldCoin. They're missing the growth that's going to come from Aptos and Chainlink and Ondo and ICP. They're missing the fact that we're going to print a shit ton of money. When I say the big print, remember, it took us 200 years to print our first $1 trillion. We went through the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, the Great Depression, and we were still under $1 trillion in debt. From 1980 to 1984, we printed another trillion. We printed 5 trillion in the next 12 years, another 5 and then 10 trillion in the next 7 years. Same thing the next 7 years. Another 10 trillion in 4 years from 2020 to 2024. Like I've been telling you all, it takes us roughly 3 to 4 years to print $10 trillion. As we print that next 10 trillion and that next 10 trillion, it's going to take us 1 and 2 years to print that money. We're going to have something called the big print, and eventually it will be the last big print. And what do? Do we go back to the same system? Do we demolish the system? Do we destroy the world? Or do we move to AI and blockchain? And it's happening right in front of your face, but you're missing it.